Alright, hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today we have a new dev update. We have some new stuff added to Bannerlord on the store, and also I'm going to answer some more questions and I guess kind of like a statement someone made that received a lot of likes in one of my videos, so I thought why not, let's go over it, okay? But by the way, I'm going back to daily videos. I'm going to try my best to do that as well, but 11 a.m. EST. Daily videos are going to be back in effect. You know what time it is. But without further ado, let's get right into what the devs are saying. Let's see all the new stuff, and then let's go check out some questions, okay? So first, when it comes to devs, they haven't said too much, but they did make this statement yesterday, so I want to go over it, okay? So the dev says, the beta will go to live branch and councils after the known multiplayer council and compliance issues have been resolved. Translations are completed and issues identified during beta have been fixed. All right. So what does this mean? So whenever a patch goes from beta to live, that's when everybody else gets it. The only people that can play a beta when it comes out is Steam players. Now, because I did want to talk about it a little bit later in the video, for people who don't understand, this happens so you don't get a buggy game, and also this happens because PlayStation, Xbox, and all the other places apart from Steam don't actually have the option to run two different versions of the game at the same time on their servers. That's why the devs have to choose between picking the live version or the beta version when it comes to all these other places, okay? It's not because they don't want to. It's not because they want to just leave you hanging dry, but that's just how it is, unfortunately. But I think that's something that PlayStation and Xbox could definitely do. They just choose not to do, probably saving money any way you can. You know how corporations are. But moving on, we have him saying there will be more hotfixes before we reach that point. For instance, the loud character noise and the bug that causes agents to not understand that they are within enemy attack range, leading to seemingly poor combat skills, should not make it out of beta. Okay. The recent beta multiplayer test event with the community also helped identify issues that require resolution. There you go. Some love to the multiplayer players. And also, I've seen somebody comment on one of my videos that you guys on PlayStation, Xbox, you guys have to pop out more when it comes to the multiplayer. Go try it out. Go play it. Let's try to revive that community as best as we can. Okay, but yeah, it looks like we are having more hotfixes. What does this mean? That means that until these hotfixes are done, the the beta will still stay beta. Okay, that means it will only still be on Steam for currently. But once those are fixed, that's when we should see it move to the live branch. Again, the issues that they're having is multiplayer, council, and compliance issues. Okay, so it's three different things that they have to, well, it's probably more than three things. Those are three categories they have to focus on, and there's going to be more hotfix to deal with those categories. Now, why does this happen? Sometimes when there's a lot of fixes, when there's a lot of things that are changed in the game with a big update, it takes a lot of hotfixes to make sure all those systems work properly, and so your save doesn't get corrupted. You don't encounter like this crash where you can't move on with the game, and then pretty much your save is useless. That's why, and that's kind of the reasons why if they just put out the beta patch as soon as it came out to PlayStation and Xbox, there will be no way for you guys to like play the game if you guys encounter some of these bugs. Like for example, 2 hotfixes ago, if I'm not mistaken, for this same 1.2 beta, I couldn't get more than 3 workshops. As soon as I hit the 3 workshop limit, it wasn't even a limit, but like it was like an imaginary limit, the game would just crash over and over and over again. But we got a hotfix and that got changed. But I can, since I'm on PC and I'm on Steam, I can kind of go between the different versions if I want to continue playing the game because this version's broken or that version doesn't work well. But unfortunately, if they did the same thing for PlayStation and Xbox, they would only be able to put one version in, which they will put the new beta version in, and all of a sudden, you're going to have a lot of problems. You know what I mean? So that's kind of like why it's, it's like that. I know a lot of people don't understand, like, well, why can't I play the new version of the game? It's just, I don't know. You know what I mean? It's just how the corporations work. You know how PlayStation and Xbox have decided to make it so you can only have one version of the game. Which I think they, with all the money they make, I think they should be able to figure that feature out. But That's just me. But listen, yeah, we have a couple more what's called issues. I'm gonna go over every single issue with you guys when it does come out. Whenever the hotfixes come out, there will be a video on this channel. You know how that works, okay? But yes, it looks like we're more hotfixes. We're gonna push the live just a little bit more. I said by the end of this month. It is by the end of this month. It is the end of the month that I was talking about. But I think we're gonna have to wait a little bit longer for all the hot fixes to come through. Okay, I will keep you guys updated on this, I promise. Next, moving on, we have a soundtrack. The soundtrack was finally released on what's it called, the store. If you want to go support them and buy it, so you can have all the 30 tavern tracks. What's it called? Available to you. Go buy that. I don't know how much it is on Steam. Let me see how much it is on Steam. It is. I think it's like probably like $9.99. That sounds like what it would be. It is only $7.99. There it is, right over there. So yeah, if you want to go check it out, if you want to go, you know, enjoy all the melodies, there it is. And they also have their digital companion thing. I made some videos on it too. It's pretty cool. It's like a lore and like, you know, their drawings before they made the game and stuff. But yeah, there it is. That just came out. That's kind of cool. It's actually 61 recordings. Okay, so it's 30 tavern tracks and 31 tracks, like for the game, like, you know what I mean, like the combat and stuff like that. Pretty good music. I think people who play Bannerlord, they can't complain about the music. I think that is pretty solid. I heard people are having issues with this as well, but we're not going to go over the issues. All positivity over here, you know what I mean? It is what it is. You don't have to purchase it. It's not like mandatory. It's just for anybody who wants to, you know? But moving on, let's move on to some questions that you guys have for me. So first, we have a person making a statement saying, still waiting for mods on consoles. I'll be honest with you, dog, you will be waiting. And this is probably too early as well, 2029. For some reason, PlayStation and Xbox, they don't really want to dibble and dabble in like mods. Like some game companies do it. I know like was it Fallout 4 that had like the mods that were very controversial because they kind of sucked and they cost too much. And to be honest with you, mods shouldn't really cost anything, you know, unless most of that money is going back to the game developer, which I'm pretty sure it didn't. But yeah, mods on consoles, I'll be honest with you, I don't think it's happening, man. I know on the Steam version, obviously it's on the PC, so you can have as much mods as you want for any game. But yeah, PlayStation and Xbox, I don't think that's coming, man. I'm sorry. I think they've tried it with some game companies. I just don't see like. I feel like every game has to start doing it for like the whole like gaming industry to be like, oh yeah, this is a standard now to have mods. But I feel like if mods came to consoles, they would all just be paid for. Like you would have to pay for all of them, which kind of sucks. Because I feel like the company would have to like vet every single one and see if it's, you know, good or not good. And I'm pretty sure for all you boys out there who like to put those mods that makes everybody naked and stuff like that in the game, I'm pretty sure those would not be accepted on what's called PlayStation and Xbox, because that's like, you know, I feel like there's a different standard when it comes to to like modding and like game additions when it comes to PlayStation and Xbox than when it comes to PC. Yeah, but I don't think it's coming anytime soon. I'll be honest with you. For anybody wondering, I don't think so. And the devs have not said anything about doing mods on consoles. I think they said that wasn't part of their plans currently. Now next, let's go over this comment. It got a lot of likes. I'll like it as well. Why not? Let's read it. So this person right over here, I like the glasses. The reason everybody asks for when does the console get the updates. By the way, when I repeat it, I'm not being mad at you guys. I'm not like upset with you guys. Like I'm just, you know, I'm trying to make sure as many people know what's going on as possible so they have a better understanding of it. Okay? But he says, including me is because Taylor Worlds puts out a video 4 weeks ago. Name me a company that makes an update video of their game, only to not update the game for at least a month. I want to play Bannerlord right now, but if I start playthrough now, I can start all over again when the update hits. Okay, well, there's a couple things, okay? So let's go over the couple things. So first, what's it called? The whole dropping a video 4 weeks ago. Well, when Bannerlord did come out, it first didn't come out on PlayStation and Xbox, okay? So this is how they did their updates. So what they would do is they would put out a beta update, okay? Once the beta update is out, they put out a, if it's a big beta update, they put out a video on their YouTube kind of showing off all the stuff that pretty much was added. They usually do it like after every like 3 betas, so they can make it into like one video and show off all the new features. This is how usually they done it, and then the beta will then spend sometimes a month, sometimes 2, sometimes even a little bit longer, pretty much in beta. And while there is a beta, there also is a live version of the game, and the difference between them is the live version is more stable. Everything's pretty much fixed up and it's polished as can be, so there's not much crash fixes and bugs in the game. The beta, though, it has a lot of bugs, it has a lot of crashes that occur, and it needs a lot more fixing to do. Now, in those in that 1, 2, 3 month cycle of it being in beta, it receives a lot of hot fixes. So that brings me to my second point. They have been making updates. It's just unfortunately they haven't been making updates. Let me go back to the comment. Clicked on it by accident. There you go. They haven't been making updates to PlayStation and Xbox because, like I said before, they only allow one version of the game. Like the developers only have like when the developers like pretty much upload their version of the game to PlayStation, to Xbox. I don't know exactly how that process works. There's only one slot for them to upload something, okay? And they made the decision, which I think is the smart decision, to upload the live version, okay, into that one slot instead of the beta version. While the beta version is more fun, it's newer content and more people want it, it's still very buggy and a lot of crashes can happen. And sometimes crashes can cause a save to be corrupted. And if a person has, like, let's say a save and they've been playing for a long time and then it gets corrupted, that could sometimes make a person want to quit the game. It happens. So what they did was they put the live version in instead, and then, whenever a new beta comes out, they still want to show it off. They still wanted that. And obviously a big part of the player base is still on Steam, where they allow multiple versions of the game. Like, for example, if I go on my Steam right now, just so I can show you exactly what I'm talking about. All right, so let me make this smaller so you guys can see it. So when I go to my Steam right now, I go to my library, right? Then I go to Bannerlord. I go to right-click over here, go to Properties. I go to Betas. As you can see right over here, I can choose from all of these versions of the game. All of them. You know what I mean? Because they can do multiple versions on Steam. And if it was like this on PlayStation and Xbox, it would look exactly like this, and then you guys could be able to play it as well. So what I'm trying to say is, it's not like there's no reason for the developers to be like, haha, they shouldn't play it because we don't want them to. It's more like the system restrictions of the consoles, which I think, like I said before, for the amount of money they make, I don't think this little feature should be, it should be there. I think it should be there because then it'll make it so much easier on everybody, and you know what I mean? But yeah, it does take time for a beta to go to live through hotfixes, and it doesn't mean that they don't care. It just means that they're trying to fix up the game to make it into a good condition so you guys can enjoy it, okay? Now, I want to play Bannerlord right now, but want to start, but if I start a playthrough now, I'll start over again when the update hits. You can start playing now, and then when the update comes out, you can just upgrade your save to the next update. The devs usually make a post, and they've only made it once in the past, of, for example, like if you started your, You started your save on the first ever patch that came out in beta. I think halfway through the beta, development, they made it an update that said, hey, if your save is still all the way back there, you're going to need to create a new save for the newer updates that are coming. But they only said that once during the whole development cycle. Usually, and like how it works right now currently, if you're playing, for example, if you're on 1.1.5, I think currently on PlayStation Xbox, and you pretty much want to upgrade that save to the next version of the game, you can do that without having to start a new save. It's still going to work. Sometimes you just need a couple of in-game days to pass. Like, for example, wait inside of a town for 3-4 days of in-game time, not real time, but like in-game time, and the time should pass and all of the changes should take effect, and you should be able to still play. Now, while I do suggest you do kind of restart a new playthrough every single big update, it's not required. I say this because sometimes there might be like a little bug here and there, but it's nothing game breaking. You know what I mean? It's nothing like that. So you can still play it. But yeah, there it is. That's my best way to answer this. But I understand the frustration, obviously. You know what I mean? Everybody wants to play the newest version. It's just unfortunately the blame isn't really the developers. It's more blame on like, you know, the PlayStation and Xbox for not figuring out like the most, like, in my opinion, the most minuscule like thing that you can add to make the developer's job easier, to make the players experience better. They just don't want to add it for some reason. You know what I mean? Like, it's so easy to just well, I'm not gonna say it's so easy, but like, I feel like with the amount of money and the amount of prominence they have, because PlayStation and Xbox is like known worldwide, like they sell like what, like hundreds of millions, right? They can make an option where, you know, players can choose to either play in a beta version of the game or a live version of the game. I think they just don't want to because it's probably going to take up more space. It's probably going to cost more internet service, and therefore they are trying to, you know, do what corporations do, probably save more money, right? But yeah, hopefully that answered your question, and hopefully that was the update right there, and I will see you guys in the next one.